Welcome to our Predictive World series today. We're going to be discussing mindfulness in the age of distraction and also exploring some concepts of artificial intelligence. We're always delighted to bring our community together to learn and advance our predictive AI world knowledge and increase our insights to advance our business networks and our collaborative learning as a community. You're hearing the voice of Dr. Cindy Gordon. I'm the CEO and founder of SalesChoice. We are a cognitive AI data science product and services company. Our focus is maximizing sales productivity to help you see more, to win more using advanced AI methods. I'm very thrilled today to introduce you to Andrea Kiss, who is the founder of Boardroom Bootcamp and is an executive coach and sales consultant. I met Andrea when we were both at Xerox some time ago, and it's always interesting to see her continual brilliance. She's a very experienced sales leader. She knows how to make those home runs count, but also has always been very sensitive to the DNA collaborative of the entire sales team to achieve the results, and knows that sense of purpose, a sense of mindfulness is key to success. She's now turned her successful career from former sales results execution into being an executive coach and consultant to help the masses advance their skills in this area. When you think about all that's happened in the age of distraction, trying to find a sense of inner harmony is more difficult than any other time that we've had in the history of mankind. In particular, B2B sales professionals are suffering from attention deficit disorder, but also their productivity has declined to catastrophic levels of less than 33% productivity in the field focused on actual customers. They're getting bogged down in administrivia, distractions, our lovely texting, emails, etc. So today, everyone, I'm so thrilled to introduce you to Andrea, and I'll let her say a few words before we continue.
Hi, Cindy, and hi, everyone. I'm looking forward to today, and hopefully each of you can discover that one small change that helps you make a big difference, not only in the outcome that you want professionally, but also in work and life harmony.
So we'll now move to the agenda. I'm just going to kind of give you a sense of what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover off some introductory comments on the age of distraction, and then I'm going to turn it over to Andrea, who's going to dive fairly deep on introducing a wonderful little tool. Hopefully people have received it by email, but also Malay can direct you to where it is on the panel screen when we're at that point in the session. After Andrea's finished her session, I'm going to kind of create the bridge in terms of mindfulness being one behavioral technique, and I'm going to talk specifically about how artificial intelligence can also provide that sense of harmony in the sense of prioritizing intelligently the best pathways to win. I started to research the age of distraction about 3 years ago because I became quite concerned about the declining cognitive skills of sales professionals. I think most people are familiar, if they're in sales, that it's a classic psychological behavior where 30% of those sales professionals suffer from attention deficit disorder, that it impacts their cognitive ability to focus. What's more alarming is that 30 to 60% of those sales reps don't meet their sales targets in the middle tier in particular, and they struggle with forecasting accuracy despite billions of investment of CRM that we've experienced over the last 30 years. I've also mentioned just a few minutes ago about the declining productivity of sales professionals. And then when you step back, and there was some really good research that Microsoft did too, that highlighted how the human attention span in the last 50 years has dropped by over 50%. And they made I think the cool analogy to a goldfish. A human attention spans about 8 seconds before it has another thought flowing in, and a goldfish can stay very focused for over 10 seconds. So I'm not sure if that's diminishing realities, but I think it is pause for thought here. In terms of stepping back and talking about the rise of mindfulness, it is a psychological process, and it's all about bringing one's attentions to experiences occurring in the present moment, which can be developed through the practice of not just often we think of meditation or yoga or trying to find that inner sense of purpose or other kinds of thoughtfulness. It actually is something, as Andrea will just explore with you, how it can go into our every daily habits, throughout the day to really get us on point, focused, and to really just be in that specific moment and not to judge things that are coming our way. Slowing down how our synaptic neurons are turning out, our stories in our mind. Paying attention to the being present is very important. There's a lot of companies now applying mindfulness directly into their cultures. I'm being myself a former partner from Accenture. I've been very impressed with their deployment of mindfulness and bringing that capability and awareness out to all of their senior managers and partners. But there are many other companies practicing this. Aetna, for example, Google, Intel. Intel's always very, very thoughtful. What I also found was interesting is the World Economic Forum put on as one of the most significant topics for, I call it, capability development for leaders, to really put mindfulness into our day-to-day behaviors in order for all business professionals, whether it's sales or whatever profession you choose, to actually improve their performance and productivity levels from 10 to 30% by really developing these practices. Um, I think for those of you that know me, I kind of step back and I like to do a little bit of research. And what I also was enjoying was reading the University of California's research from Gloria Mark. She's a professor of informatics. And it's just, she's been tracking the sheer volumes of interruptions that we have every 3 minutes during the day and the importance to turn those devices off, literally turn them off. And there are many corporate cultures that are now basically making that a mandatory practice. Put your cell phone away, turn it off so you can actually focus and increase your productivity. Many companies are putting in when you're into the actual meeting to turn off your cell phones. And I think we've certainly seen the productivity implications on performance. We all have a job to do, and that's to help our companies or organizations or not-profit grow. And digital distractions without human discipline is not creating a friendly picture for many of us. Also, according to the Kennan Flagger Business School studies, the benefits of mindfulness can not only lead to improvements in innovative thinking, communication skills, and more appropriate reactions to handle stress with the ups and downs that may come our way in the business world. In terms of, just branching over now, I'd like to really provide Andrea an opportunity to really take us forward over the next 30 minutes as we explore mindfulness and what it means to business people and kind of get us on the right track here. So, Andrea, over to you, and you're very welcome to be with us today. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Cindy. Well, I appreciate the introduction and how important being mindful is to business people. Here's an analogy that can help us identify the one thing that we could shift to get the outcomes that we really want. Well, my favorite sport is squash. One day I was doing a skill drill to practice hitting close to the wall and deep in the back corners. You can see here on the image on your screen some of the key targets, but the ones we were trying to hit was in the back corners. Well, I wasn't doing very well. In fact, only 10% of my shots were effective. My friend Haley stopped me, and we put painter's tape along the floor close to the wall and deep in the back corner. This gave us a target. Immediately, I had a 6-fold improvement. Well, what was different? Well, I set an intention. Being intentional makes a massive difference to your squash game. It also makes a massive difference in all domains of our lives, including work and life harmony. And that's what I'm going to talk about. Setting intentions is at the heart of work-life harmony. And my intention for each and every one of you participating today on this webinar is to identify that change that you choose to make that's important to you to get your work and life in harmony. If you haven't already, please go to the control panel of your webinar window and download the handout we've shared. It's absolutely critical that you have a copy to follow our next steps. So what are we going to do today in our hour that we've got? For steps for work-life harmony, first, we're going to set Assess and set your intention with the power wheel. Second, identify and overcome broken assumptions. Next, this is most key, we'll create your harmony decision framework, and we'll wrap up by installing your sustainability measures.